30,000 in the next 6 months or die? Now, I'd seen that question asked on Quora this morning, and it made me laugh, but it also stopped me mid-scroll, because it's a really good question to ask. You know, when you have your back to the wall, when you need to come up with 30,000, I assume the person wasn't looking for TikTok followers. I assume it was cash they were looking for. So again, convert it into your currency, whether that's dollars, pounds, or whatever. But if you had to create $30,000 in the next 6 months, how would you do it? Now, you may be listening into this episode and saying, well, I want you to answer that question for me, but I probably will. I'll answer it in 1 second. But before I do that, I want you to seriously think about that today. I want you to get a pen and a paper, and I want you to write at the top of the page, $30,000 in the next 6 months or die. Now, if you were faced with that situation, if you were faced with, I don't know, it could be some kind of strange ransom thing or something like that. Maybe it's a family member that's going to be killed if you don't come up with the $30,000. I'm sure if your back was to the wall like that, I'm sure you wouldn't be on TikTok. I am sure you wouldn't be on Facebook. I am sure you wouldn't be going through box sets on Netflix. I'm sure you would be very, very focused on your business, and you would be very focused on what could make you money, and you would stop doing the things that aren't making you money, that are distracting you, and that are basically making you a busy fool. I'm sure if your back was to the wall today, you wouldn't get up today and you wouldn't be procrastinating. I'm sure as soon as your arse hit the seat, you would be in front of the keyboard, you would be in front of the camera, but you would be creating content like you've never created it before, because you have this deadline that you have to meet. And you know, unfortunately, a lot of us don't have, well, thankfully, a lot of us don't have those kind of deadlines to cope with. And because of that, then we kind of kick things on into the future. We keep kicking that can down the road. You know, I'll start writing tomorrow, I'll do that blog post tomorrow, I'll create that video tomorrow, whatever. And everything is put on tomorrow. But as you're probably well aware, tomorrow never comes. But once you do have maybe a strong kind of, you know, a target or something that you need to sort out, I'm sure you would be very, very focused today. So have a look at what you're doing at the moment. Could you come up with $30,000 in the next 6 months if you continued doing what you're doing? Or are you finding that maybe, you know, if you're not making money now, you know, it's probably going to be the same in 6 months if you are still doing the same actions, still hanging out on the same useless platforms, and still not taking action on what you should be doing. You're probably going to be in the same situation that you are in 6 months. So, you know, maybe you should light a little bit of a fire under your butt today. Give yourself maybe a target, maybe here to Christmas. Come up with a kind of a figure. Now, a figure that probably is out of your reach. It's something that you are going to have to stretch for. You know, if I said, oh, well, I'm going to make $100 between now and Christmas, that target is very, very easy for me. You know, between now and then, I only need to sell a couple of courses and I have it covered. But if you kind of go maybe with a couple of $1,000 or something like that, maybe if you'd like to have a big splash out this Christmas, just to kind of maybe round off this kind of crappy year, you want to have a good Christmas at 2020. So maybe you think to yourself, well, what would be a good Christmas for me, and what kind of figure would that, you know, how much money would I need to have that great Christmas? So maybe if you write that down maybe on your piece of paper, maybe if you have that for your target, for you want to end this year 2020 on a big kind of boom or a big blowout, you know, what would the figure, how much money would you need to raise between now and then? So give that some thought today. If you had 6 months to live and you had to raise $30,000, how would you do it? Now, before I let you go, you're probably saying, well, how would I do it? Well, one of the things that I would do is, again, I would drop all social media in a flash. I wouldn't be creating content for any of those platforms. I mightn't even be creating this podcast episode, because this is more of a kind of a long-term thing that's always going to be out there. I need to come up with ideas that are going to create money right now. So what I would focus on is probably having a look at what trends are happening right now, what is growing at the minute, probably between now and Christmas. Now again, coming up to Christmas, you will find maybe some markets get really, really popular, as probably parents are buying toys for Christmas or something like that. But I would have a look and see what markets are exploding or are on the verge of getting popular at this time of year, and I would try and find out what that group of people wants. Go on to maybe a website like Ask the Public, or go on to Google and maybe use my main keyword, type it in, and then have a look and see what type of questions those people are asking. If you want to make money in a hurry, what you need to do is you need to find a lot of people with a problem that they can't solve, and then what you need to do is you need to go off, find a solution to that problem, and one that is very easy for them to kind of put into place, and then come back to it, package all that up. Again, it could be writing a series of reports, it could be writing maybe an ebook, it could be creating a training course, whatever, but package all that knowledge up into something you can sell, and then get back in front of that audience that is asking those questions and having those problems. Go on to the platforms where they are asking the questions or where they're hanging out, and then show them that you have the solution to their problem, and then start collecting their money on the other side. So whatever you're doing right now, if you had 6 months to live, would you be doing what you're doing right now? I'm sure you'd be taking better actions. You wouldn't be hanging out on those platforms that are a total waste of your time and don't actually give you anything for all the effort you're putting into it. I'm sure you'll be a lot focused. But again, if it's something like you'd like to challenge yourself to, think about what is really popular in your niche right now, in your genre, what is going to be really popular on the run up to Christmas. And if you're not too sure, maybe go to maybe a website like Google Trends or something like that, and you can actually put in a couple of keywords, and you can actually see over the year how that keyword actually goes. You will find it probably goes up and down, but you will find sometimes the odd keyword is actually growing at a kind of a, at an increasing angle or increasing amount. So maybe that might be something that you could get into. But again, try and find a problem that a lot of people have. The more people that have this problem, the more money you're going to make. If there are only 10 people in the world that have a problem and you have a solution to that, well, even at best you can only sell 10 of those products. But if you have someone or a group of people, maybe thousands of people who have the same problem, and you can come up with a good solution that's easy to do and actually works, and then you can get back in front of that audience, that is what you should be looking at. So that's my challenge to you, not just for today, but maybe between now and maybe the beginning of next year. Are you looking for a good Christmas? Are you looking to end this 2020 on a high? Maybe just get a piece of paper today, write that down. 30,000 in 6 months or die, or whatever deadline you want to have on it. But have it a kind of maybe a 6 month kind of deadline where it is possible but not impossible. And again, have a good money figure that you would need to get, that you'd be really happy with. So again, that might focus you, it might make you take different actions, or might actually, make you take action. But keep that in mind today. I found it funny this morning when I seen that, and maybe it's something we should all keep in mind. So as always, thanks for your time today. Again, if you want to find this great content, do a search for WriteCome, WriteCome.com. And if you go over to the WriteCome site right now, we have a lot of great free reports and courses on writing and self-publishing. Head on over there, you'll find all the latest content over there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click on the bell or subscribe, and I will send the next couple of videos on to you. Or if you listen to this as a podcast episode, again, hit subscribe and I will send all the next episodes on to you as well. So as always, have a good day, take care, and bye bye.